CJ Frank, CJ Frank, the entertainment king. Hosting SC10, the show that brings the bling. We're the masters of the stage, the more ones who reign. Bringing fire and excitement, driving you insane. CJ's on the mic, spitting lyrics so fly. His flow is so smooth, it makes your head spin hot. Frank's in the spotlight, moves like the pro. His dance skills are lethal, everyone knows. And then there's Tro, the comedian maestro, cracking jokes and making us laugh. With witty punchlines, he's the life of the party, bringing smiles and joy to everybody.
Yes, sir. What do it do? What do it do, YouTube? It is your boys, CJ and Tro, back at it like a bad habit. You want, excuse me. You want something, better go grab it. Oh, my apologies. I just took a shot. Oh, Tro, how you doing, man?
I'm doing better than you are.
Yeah, that shot. For some reason, man, that one hurt. Yo,
Yeah.
So we are here today, folks, because we are going to debate, Tro and I, the 5 best years of pro wrestling and the 5 worst years of pro wrestling. I threw that worst one on you last minute. I'm sorry about that, Tro.
That's all good. I'm sure I can think of 5 bad ones.
Oh sure. I got one off the top of my head. And of course, today is May 31st, or tonight at midnight. Eminem will be dropping a brand new song called Houdini. So I'm gonna be on to react to that. So be on the lookout for that, because I'm looking forward to that, man. Some new Eminem, baby, and he's gonna be dropping a new album this summer. I'm looking forward to that as well. So comment down below if you want me to go live or if you want me to go song by song. I could do either one. Of course, I did some reactions to the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. They were both pretty dope, in my opinion. But if you are new to this channel, Mr. McMahon, please tell the people what to do. Uh-oh. You there?
Yeah.
What happened there? Or Wi-Fi?
I don't know.
Let me see something. Was it mine?
Might have been mine.
My
I'm
Wi-Fi?
outside.
Okay, hang on. All right. Are we better?
I think so.
All right. Well, you're frozen now, Tro.
Am I frozen? How about now?
Who cares? Anyway, before we get started, Mr. McMahon, please tell the people what they can do.
First, you hit the subscribe button, and then you ring the bell.
And if you don't,
you're fired.
Facts. So before we begin talking about the worst years, I want to discuss something that happened to me recently. And it starts off as a bad story, but I promise you it ends happy, right? So a while ago, a couple of weeks ago, my uncle and I were going to go to the casino, right, up to Black Hawk. And I don't know why I'm telling the story on YouTube, but fuck it, I'm telling it. We went to Black Hawk, or we were driving up to Black Hawk, right? And I'm doing fine up until a certain point when we get through both tunnels that you got to go through. All of a sudden, my stomach decides, F you, basically, right? And it's, so for a little while there, I was able to like kind of hold it in and like make it stop. And hold it in and make it stop. But after a certain while, I was like, we got to pull over at the gas station. I got to take a shit, right? Well, he's like, okay. 2 minutes later, my stomach says, "We're not waiting for the damn gas station. You're going now." So I'm like, "Ronnie, pull over the car." Ronnie's my uncle, by the way. I'm like, "Ronnie, pull over the car." And so he pulled over the car, and fortunately we had napkins, so I took the shit on the side of the road, and I thought I was going to be good at that point, right? Well, like 3 or 4 minutes later, we're driving some more, and my stomach said, "No, no, no, we ain't done. We ain't done. Round 2, bitch." Before I can even get the words out, Uncle Ronnie pull over the car. It's already coming out in my pants, right? So I'm literally shitting my pants. I'm like, "Ronnie, pull over the car, pull over the car." So he pulls over the car, and I'm already too late. The shit's already in the pants. It's already going, right? It's fucking bad. And I get out, and I finish the business, thankfully. We had more we had more napkins, so I was able to wipe myself at least. But as I'm taking this hit, I'm sliding down the hill, right? Because I was on a hill, and I'm sliding down. So the poop's not even going on the dirt. It's going in my underwear at this point, right? This is all bad, still, right? And I get in the car, and Ronnie's like, "You know what? We're not going to Blackhawk. We got to get you home, get you cleaned up," right? So on the way home, we had to sit in traffic for 30 minutes. Might as well turn the car off because we were not moving a single inch. Now, that night, I wound up just going to the bar with my uncle and hanging out there, playing some pool. The good news, I did get to go to Blackhawk. I went to Blackhawk on Tuesday with my mom. Didn't get sick this time, which is amazing. Did not get sick this time. I even walked away with a couple bucks. Yeah, that was just kind of it was just not a very fun experience, but thank goodness I wasn't like pissed off at me about it. It's like it's happened to all of us, CJ. I'm like on the verge of tears. I was so embarrassed. And he's like, "Don't worry about it, hot dog. You're good. You're good." And I'm like, "Well, if you're not, I'm surprised you're not getting mad at me because whatever." But enough about my embarrassing story, man. Let's get to the best and the worst years ever. That was the worst experience I've ever had, probably. Tro, I'm going to start off with the worst years for me. How about you? And maybe you'll agree with this one. Maybe this one will be on your list. Are you ready?
Sure.
The worst year. And these are not in order, by the way. These are just random. They're not top 5 in order or anything like that. Queen's on Twitch. Fuck. Sorry. Worst year for me. One of the worst years. 2020.
Yeah.
And it's not even anybody's fault, but just 2020. It was the pandemic year. And yes, we got Edge returning to the ring, and that was awesome. Beautiful moment.
Yeah.
But, nah, it wasn't it, bro. 2020. And then we had the Thunderdome.
Thunderdome wasn't too bad.
You sound like my friend Jay.
No, I mean, look, we went from freaking it being an empty arena for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I remember that.
To them having the NXT developmental people being in the crowd and doing whatever they wanted to, like their WWE Games crowd.
Fun fact.
To the Thunderdome.
Fun fact. Bianca Belair actually debuted in the empty arena.
I believe it. It was a pretty shit year.
How about you, Tro? What are your worst years?
So I think I'm gonna go with the easy one here. I'm gonna go with 1995.
That was on my list.
It's just overall a shit year for professional wrestling as a whole. Shit.
I had that 95 on my list.
We had freaking WrestleMania 11, which was awful. That was the one with the.
What year did you say? 95?
Yeah, 95 was LT and Bigelow.
Yeah.
We had Hulk Hogan.
Go ahead.
We had Hulk Hogan floundering in WCW with, what was it? It was freaking the Alliance to destroy Hulkamania, and
Oh, the
All that
Legion.
other
What? That wasn't the Legion of Doom. That was the Dungeon of
no
Doom.
Dungeon of Doom. That's what it was.
There was a. I don't know if it was in '95 or '96, but there was a famous match. It was Hogan and Savage against the entire Dungeon of Doom in like a steel cage.
I think that was uncensored 90s. That was one. That was uncensored either 95 or 96. But it wasn't just Hogan and Savage. It was other. It was others.
You're breaking up here, pal.
What?
You were breaking up there. You want to repeat that?
I said it wasn't. It was one of the uncensored shows. It wasn't just Hogan and Savage though.
Yeah. I'm gonna go best now. One of the best years for me. I'm gonna go 2024. Great year so far.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm not gonna. Why I didn't have it on the list because it's too. It's only May.
It's almost June. I mean, today and tomorrow, the last couple of days of June, and so far in the first 6 months, it's been a good product in WWE.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much in AEW.
I'm trying to think of good stuff in AEW. I mean, I'm sure there's like a few good things in AEW that's happened this year. Edge having fun is pretty good for him, I guess. Sting had a good retirement match.
You're frozen again, bro. What the heck? You're frozen again, dog.
Sting having am I back?
I'm sorry?
Am I back?
Nope, still frozen.
Well, Sting having.
I can still hear you, so we're all good, but.
I'll probably just turn off my camera then.
There you go.
Sting having a good retirement match was pretty good for him then.
Yeah. And as far as WWE, I mean, they're selling out big time.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're going all over the world. They went to Australia. They went to France. They went to. They just came back from Saudi Arabia. They're going to Scotland. They're going to Berlin. They're going all over the world. I mean, it's
to be fair. Before the pandemic, they did do this shit a lot. They just didn't have a lot of big shows there.
No, they didn't have PLEs, is what you're saying.
No, they didn't have pay-per-views there. It was too expensive.
It was like house shows, but yeah, no, that's a good thing. We got Cody Rhodes finishing his fucking story, and a lot of people. I'm going to talk about this real quick. A lot of people are saying that Cody Rhodes' title run has been lackluster. Well, give it time. He's building it.
Yeah.
It's all building.
It's still early in the run.
It's too early in the run. Right. AJ Styles was a good first opponent. Logan Paul was a good second opponent. I think I would reverse those two, but whatever. And whoever's next, be it Randy Orton or I was going to say or Gunther, but Gunther is on Raw. He'll probably face Drew or Damian at some point. Which, by the way, I'm gonna say Gunther versus Damian Priest would be a banger match.
Oh, it's gonna be a banger match at SummerSlam.
Facts. Yeah, so I like that match a lot. A lot of the WWE is just hit. Very few misses. The one miss I will say that WWE has had in 2024. This is just my opinion, so send your hate tweets to Tro on Twitter. I'm not a fan of Naomi at all. That was the miss, bringing her back.
Here's what Naomi bringing her back has done. Because I don't know if you catch NXT this week, but the Forbidden Door has been opened once more. TNA and WWE are finally in a working relationship, aka TNA fucked up. TNA fucked up. Really
I did not watch NXT this week. I was up in Blackhawk, in the mountains in Blackhawk at the casino. But I remember I was sitting at the bar because I was watching the game, and if you sit at the bar and you play those machine games at the bar, you get like drinks or whatever. You get free
Yeah.
drinks anyway at the casino, but that's just a quicker way to do it, right? Because you don't got to wait for the lady to come around and hand it to you. You just get it at the bar right then and there. So I'm sitting at the bar, I'm watching the basketball game, and I get on Facebook and I see that Jordan Grace was coming to NXT. I'm like, what the fuck? That's a pretty cool thing. That's another thing that WWE is doing great, you know?
Yeah.
People know who Jordan Grace is. Wrestling fans know who Jordan Grace is. And
Yeah, this also opens up the door because
more crossover.
for more crossover between the companies, because now even people like Drew McIntyre and Austin Creed are like, hey, since we're now allowed to talk about TNA, like, hey, what if we went to TNA and did this and we did that?
Yeah.
I mean,
what if he acknowledged Drew McIntyre's world title run?
I mean, he pretty much did. He said, if I can't win the title in WWE, perhaps I'll go back to TNA. And then he posted a picture of him with their world title.
Yeah, Drew is now.
He's not going to win, by the way.
No. But I was going to say, what year was Drew McIntyre in TNA Wrestling, in Impact Wrestling, whatever?
Okay, so that was probably the mid 2000s, mid 2010s, because he was released
The
in
mid 2000s. Listen to you, Tro. First of all, it was after 20. It was way after 2010.
I said the mid 2010s, the 2010s.
Oh, I thought you said the mid 2000s. My fault.
No.
I'm like, wait, the mid 2000s. I've never heard it put that way before.
He was released in.
Let me pull up the stats here real quick. Drew McIntyre. Let's see when he was in Impact. This is the beauty of doing it on your computer, is you can actually look stuff up, right? Let's see.
He was Impact. It was Impact for a bit.
Okay. Total non-stop action. 2015 to 2016. I'm sorry. 2015 until 2017.
That makes sense.
Yeah. He was the world champion on March 15th. I don't know what date that is, what year that is. Fuck. That's probably 2016, I'm guessing. So he was champion in 2016. Drew is one of those guys that is just a fantastic athlete. Like, everything about him is awesome.
Yeah, he's doing his best heel work right now.
Facts.
Some of the best work of his career.
And Punk is that great babyface foil for him.
Yeah, and he's barely even doing anything, which is awesome.
He doesn't have to do anything, and the fans are just like, we love CM Punk.
Yeah, but they're going to boo him at Clash of the Castle.
You think they're going to boo Punk?
Oh, yeah, because he's going to screw Drew.
Is this going to be like an MJF situation where he's a hero here, a heel there?
Oh, I mean, to be fair, Drew is going to be in front of his friends and family legitimately this time. It's going to be in Glasgow Scotland.
By the way, MJF is back in AEW, so shout out to that. That was a good thing that happened. MJF coming back, so.
So my first good year is 2023.
I have that as one of mine. Yeah.
Because AEW was actually somewhat tolerable for parts of that year. I mean, we did have CM Punk for a little bit.
Facts.
In AEW, which was pretty cool. MGF was doing good stuff. WWE was kind of rocky in spots. We did have that short period of time when Vince was out, but then he came right back in. That was a fun few weeks.
Vince, I'm gonna say this. Vince leaving WWE was a dream come true for the company.
Oh yeah.
Be real.
Of course.
It was a dream come true. Because now Triple H has all the fucking reins, and now Triple H can play with his puppets. And Triple H, much better ventriloquist than Vince McMahon. Let's be honest.
Technically speaking, TKO can play with whatever puppets they want.
And I love the little things that WWE is doing now. By the way, we're going to praise WWE a lot in this video, so just chill out. But I love what they're doing.
Kevin Dunn being gone's good too.
Facts. I was about to say, I love the camera stuff that they're doing. They're doing different things with the cameras. They're showing the wrestlers walking backstage and all that stuff. And I've always been interested in that, like, because they never used to show that. So I'm like, what's that look like backstage when they're walking through?
Yeah, Kevin Dunn's having a heart attack every time he sees the TV. Well, why isn't there any camera cuts? Why isn't there camera cut? Why are we showing the women? Why aren't we showing their boobs?
Facts. And the other thing that I'll say that WWE is doing really well is the stuff with Uncle Howdy. That stuff is fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to pay off eventually.
Eventually, but hey, I'm here for it while it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, here's the problem with the Uncle Howdy stuff. At the end of the day, it's still going to be Bo Dallas, and it's going to fall into the category of are we obligated to like this because of Bray, or can we like judge it if it's not good?
Bo Dallas, when he was NXT champion, was awesome.
Well, yeah, he was awesome.
If he brings that sort of energy to this character, I'm here for it.
Yeah, but I think the whole character is that he doesn't speak
around the fucking ring or nothing like that, but just that much energy, that much passion into this gimmick, I'm here for it.
Yeah, basically, I forget where I saw it. That like they were like released secretly, like the members.
Yeah,
and one of them was Eric Rowan, Nikki Cross,
Rowan, and somebody else.
Yeah. It was one of the. I think it was like someone from NXT, probably.
But I'm here for it. I'm here for that kind of stuff. By the way, I did watch. I think I mentioned this on the podcast before, but I did watch the Bray Wyatt documentary, and when I watched the trailer for the documentary, I fucking cried at the end when they talked about his death in the trailer. So when I was watching the documentary, I was prepared for them to talk about his death. I still fucking cried, dude, because that shit was sad.
Yep.
What was your reaction? Let's talk about this. What was your reaction when Bray Wyatt passed away?
Oh, I mean, I was surprised. Don't see that coming.
Did you cry?
No, I don't cry over deaths.
You know what's funny about that? So, the only wrestler death I've ever cried over was Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, deaths don't really affect me as much.
No? Like with wrestlers, not personally, just with wrestlers.
Yeah, I don't know why with wrestlers, it just doesn't really affect me as much.
So,
I think I'm kind of desensitized to it.
I had just watched on SmackDown like 2 days before him getting bashed in the head with a steel chair, right? By Mr. Kennedy. Yeah. That was his final match. And so I'm like, oh shit, that hurt. I go into WWE.com a couple days later and it says like Eddie Guerrero passed away. I'm like, oh, we're going that fucking route?
Mr. Kennedy.
Like,
Mr. Kennedy.
I'm like, what the fuck, man? Come on. Right?
That's so fucked up.
And then I scroll down and I see Travo is in legitimate tears. And I'm like, wait, why is he really fucking crying here? Like, that's great emotion. But
he's really selling this Eddie's death.
Yeah, and John Cena is in tears, right? I'm like, why is Cena fucking crying?
They're really digging deep on this whole Eddie's death.
And then it finally hit me. I'm like, oh fuck, Eddie really died. So I call my dad, right? And I call him and my dad, and I go, Dad, Eddie's dead. Eddie Guerrero passed away. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's not funny to joke about. I'm like, I'm not joking. He's dead. Eddie Guerrero died. And he goes, "Oh fuck, that really sucks, right?" And I'll tell another funny story here in a second about me, and then we'll get off me because I'm done talking about myself. But I was like, "Yeah, that really sucks." I didn't cry until the Monday Night Raw when they had all the wrestlers up on stage and everybody in the audience was in tears. That's what hit me. I'm like, "Oh fuck." And I started crying, right? And I'm like, oh God. I went downstairs. I hugged my dad. He's like, "This about Eddie?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, it sucks. I know, bud. Sorry." I was only 12 years old, so.
Yeah, I can't even watch that show.
Oh, I really can't either.
But I
Triple H.
can't watch it back. I can't watch
Triple.
it back for different reasons.
Why can't you watch it back?
Because I can't watch Benoit crying
Oh,
because I know that's the moment where his fate is sealed and what will happen with him
you
confirmed
get
on
the
that
information
date.
after this. You just mentioned Chris Benoit. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
But
that was the Eddie's death is what kind of set in motion that whole
basically.
downfall of
But
his
then
life because he
I don't
never.
know if I ever told you this story, Troy. Maybe I have, but the night the night after WrestleMania 24 when Ric Flair retired lost that match, he had to retire, right?
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
went down. You went down. You were crying.
what happened before that?
You've told the story
Yeah,
before.
they cried and it turned into real. Yeah,
Yeah.
go look up the story, folks. It's somewhere on this channel. It's in the archives. But there we go. I don't have to repeat. For Tro, whoever the fuck you are, Tro, the beer's hitting, the booze is hitting. Tro, your next year.
So my next year would be worst. So worst, we're gonna go with 2018.
2018, huh? Why is that?
So this was 2018. This was the year before we got AEW, I believe. So the whole wrestling world was pretty much shit because we had WWE being pretty crap with the fucking 3 hour Raws and them trying to make Roman a face and it just not working and having Brock be a tweener or something like that. And we had the Undertaker and Goldberg match. I mean, 2018 was just a shit fucking year.
Yeah, that's true. For me, this is your worst year. My worst year, 2000.
Ooh, really? Why?
Name me one memorable thing that happened in the year 2000.
Austin, the WrestleMania 2000. We also had we had Cactus Jack versus Triple H.
Okay.
The shows were popping. The only bad thing about 2000 was WCW.
For me, what I saw on the screen, it's the worst year because there was nothing really memorable about it, in my opinion. Yeah, you had Cactus Jack and Triple H, and
We also had Austin returning.
toward the end of the year, yeah. I'm just not a fan of the year 2000 for whatever reason, I guess. Okay, best year for you.
Was 2000 WCW that bad for you? Don't tell Frank I said that. He'll get mad because he likes WCW 2000 for whatever reason.
I messed up. Hold up. Go ahead. Talk about your next best year while I try to fix what I just did.
So my next best year.
There we go. Got it.
My next best year will be 2003.
2003, huh?
Yes. 2003 because this was the peak of SmackDown. Raw was a bit tough to get through, but SmackDown was popping off. I think this was right around the time when ROH was really starting to gain momentum of being pretty good. TNA was pretty good back then as well.
Yeah.
So overall, we just had good wrestling minus Monday Night Raw. So that's pretty fine by my books.
See, I was going to say 2002 because that was the year that we got the F out We brought the E in, and they did the draft and all that stuff. And we got to SmackDown 6. And look, I liked Raw. I liked that storyline.
Yeah.
I like the storyline stuff more than the wrestling, honestly. And the stuff that they were doing on Raw in 2002 with Triple H as the world champion, I hated it as a kid, but looking back, it was fantastic. By the way, hey yo, Bush Light, please sponsor your boys.
I think one of my
channel.
I think one of my years is going to really shock you.
Go ahead, go.
For worst.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go with 2001.
See, I contemplated that one. That one I contemplated because of the XFL.
I'll see. Here's what I'm going to say: that 2001 was probably one of the worst years of professional wrestling as a whole.
Go ahead.
So we got the end of WCW, which ends competition with WWE, which competition only makes you better. It's as simple as that. Competition makes you better.
Facts.
Then we also had the exodus of wrestling fans after Austin turned heel at WrestleMania 17. And then we had that god-awful botched invasion storyline.
God.
So I mean 2001, it's a memorable year, but it's not exactly a good year for professional wrestling.
And that's the thing about 2002 is they kind of rectified all the wrongs that they did in the invasion angle.
Yeah, that's just because most of the AOL contracts ran out finally.
Yep. That was the worst for you. Worst for me. I got one left here. How many do you have left for worst? One?
Yeah.
Okay. The worst, the final one for me, this is probably going to surprise you. 1999. Because, yes, you got The Rock and yes, you got The Rock and Stone Cold. And yes, you got Mr. McMahon as the ultimate bad guy, whatever. And yes, business was never hotter in 99, but really in 99, what was there besides Rock and Austin?
Yeah.
Undertaker kind of fizzled out at that point because he was going to go off and revamp his gimmick. Mankind was in his final years there. WCW was dying at that point. I mean, they might as well just... It was a slow death for WCW, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But they could have died in 99 and nobody would have said shit. But what say you about 99? Any positives?
1999 was a interesting year because we had the decline of Austin's wrestling ability.
I'm going to say this. Everybody in 99 was basically the heel while also being a babyface. Make sense.
I mean, we did have the rise of Triple H.
He was a heel, right? That was...
Yeah, this was when he started to become big.
Really? Could you name me any legitimate baby faces in WWE besides Austin and McMahon or Austin and Mankind?
In WWE in 1999,
yeah.
The Rock.
Rock was a heel.
The Rock was a face in 99.
Rock
after WrestleMania.
I'm looking
at Well, yeah, but if we're judging 99 as a whole, then he was a face after Backlash.
So I'll give you The Rock. Rock, Mankind, Austin. Anybody else?
Al Snow.
Was he?
Yeah, Al Snow was with Mankind. They were faces for a bit.
I swear to God, he was a fucking heel.
I mean, he acted a little. He was kind of heelish to The Rock, but I don't think he was full-fledged heel. Because this was also when Big Boss Man fed him his dog.
Yeah. What was the dog's name?
Pepper.
You want some salt and pepper?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
My bad. My best year. So we got the worst. How many of the best years do you have left?
One.
I have 3, so I'm going to narrow that down. I'm going to go with 1997. Because I was going to say 2002, 1997, and 2019. But I'm going to narrow it down to 97 because that's when everything kind of popped off.
Yeah.
Let's be real. The Austin thing got popped off in 97. The NWO, they were never hotter than they were in 97. Agreed?
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was a lot of great angles. Of course, we got the Montreal Screwjob, which is still talked about in 2024. So that says something about that. But and by the way, I'm on the side of Shawn Michaels on that Montreal Screwjob thing. How about you, bro?
Kind of in the middle. I could see both sides.
You can see both sides, but yeah. Anyway, yeah.
So,
in 2002, I already talked about 2002, so I'm not going to mention that again.
Yeah.
But 2002, we had Charlie Haas, Shelton Benjamin, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Randy Orton. The rise of all those guys was fantastic to see.
Yep.
A lot of people say that Shelton Benjamin should have been the world champion. I thought he was going to win the world title his first night on Raw, but that was disappointing. Charlie Haas, he's underrated in my opinion. I love Charlie Haas. He's a great wrestler. Any closing thoughts?
Well, for my worst year, I'd go with 2010. Because 2010 would have been WrestleMania 26. Not a very great WrestleMania outside of Taker and Michaels. We had the rise of the Nexus, only to be buried 6 feet under by John Cena. The product wasn't really particularly that good back then. This was pretty much right around the time of guest host era. Crap.
Well, since you just the guest host, that started in 2009, but
we're still going in 2010.
It was. That's probably when it picked up the most steam, actually. But for me, since you gave your worst year, I'm going to give my best to 2011 because we had the rise of CM Punk again, and I loved, bro. When I tell you, I fucking loved that promo he did on that Raw when he's sitting cross-legged on stage.
Yeah, pipe bomb.
John, I don't even dislike you. I do like you. I'm like, okay, I'm all in on this. What the fuck is this? I saw that. I was questioning, is this real or fake? Me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is... I still get goosebumps talking about it, bro. Like, damn, that shit was awesome. And it was good stuff. And then the stuff with Kevin Nash, look, you could say what you want about that Triple H Kevin Nash stuff and how it was all way too fake and whatever. I loved it. It was fantastic in my opinion. I enjoyed every second of that. I loved that storyline aspect. That's just me.
I will give an honorable mention to the year 2019, which was 2 in the middle for me.
I was going to mention 2019 was one of my best years too. That was literally on my list on my notepad. I'll show you.
Here's the thing with 2019: WWE was pretty shit. It was still pretty much in the shitter, but this was when we got the rise of AEW, which was not a bad thing back then. That was good alternative.
We had AEW debut. We had NXT on USA. I mean,
yeah, that didn't go too well though. They got their asses kicked every single week.
I'm sorry, NXT still on USA.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when they went head to head for a couple months.
Yeah, who left? Yeah, who left? Who left? Who left? Oh yeah, NXT left. You're right.
No, because NXT got their asses kicked every
My
single
bad.
week.
My bad. You're right. You're right.
I don't know why they thought that NXT would beat a brand new promotion that's very popular back then.
That had Cody Rhodes.
It had Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks. Back before they all became, most of them became jackasses, but Kenny Omega's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh man. Excuse me. This damn fireball. That wasn't even a lot of fireball. That was like a drip. Damn. Next week, Tro and I are going to count down some of the best promos in pro wrestling. Troy, you ready for that?
Yep.
Because I know we do. I know that we review a lot of wrestling shows and stuff, but I'm trying to switch it up. Let's talk about other things like promos and characters and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So, if you're new to this channel, like we said, Mr. McMahon, please
subscribe.
Because if you don't,
you are fired.
He's true.
But I will say this. This is a preview if I can remember to do it when it happens. You know how we don't get into politics on the channel because it's very stupid to do so? I think in November I'm going to host a solo live stream of the election. and just have a fucking hell of a time. It's going to be one of those years.
You can do that, Tro. You can do that if you like.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those years.
It's going to come on you.
I know. Well, whoever, me and whoever you freaking add to the group with your fucking special ass guest coming on.
So about that, because I did have a announcement on Facebook.
Yeah,
I've been talking with this YouTuber, and let me see how long he's been doing it. Because he's been doing it for a long time.
It starts as a guest experience. It starts as a guest spot, turns into another fucking letter on the channel.
He's actually a pretty big YouTuber. He's a really nice person. I love Dwayne. I love the guy. His name is Dwayne Jackson, and he goes by the name of Dwayne TV on YouTube. He has 113,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, that's more than us.
And he's been doing this since that is way more than us.
What's good, homies? Well,
he's been doing this since 2018, okay?
Did you reach out to him or did he reach out to you?
Well, I reached out to him because I'm in his Discord and I follow him on Twitch. I've watched his videos on YouTube. I watch all his videos on YouTube. He has several YouTube channels. He has Dwayne TV, Dwayne Reacts, Dwayne Does Anime, and Dwayne Talks. And those are his 4 channels, I believe, that I know of. And he's a really super dope dude. I've talked to him in the Twitch chat. A really super dope dude. Go follow Dwayne TV if you aren't doing that already. He's also a bit of a rapper, and he's a great rapper. And go listen to some of his music. He's awesome. And I'm working to get him on this channel. So hopefully soon that happens. But I know I've had Gatsby on the channel. He's also a YouTuber. I've had Vibe Reactions. Shout out to Ray, my man. I love you. He's awesome. I've had him on the channel. Shrug from Bakery Music and Cheesy, because I've had both of them at one point or another on the channel. They're both dope dudes.
We're gonna be FCTDENT.
No, because they're special guests.
I was a special guest too, and now look at me.
And now you're a regular, like the rest of us.
Yeah, my freaking name. I think that's how Frank started out too. Special guest.
No, Frank wasn't a special guest. Frank was actually because Frank and I had talked before that. He's like, I've always wanted to do YouTube. I'm like, come on, do this show with me because well, I'm not sure if you know this, so I'm going to fill you in. This is not the first YouTube channel I've had.
I know. You've had others.
Mm-hmm. I had one co-host. His name was Chris Martin, and there's no shout out there because he's a fucking dick.
He just left you out of the blue.
Yeah, you heard about that one, I guess. Okay, cool.
But no, like just the thought that you keep on bringing special guests and then just keep on staying.
Until next time, he's Tro. I'm CJ. The Bush Light sponsor your boys. We out. Deuces.